Tonight, it is stories for children from an amazing pair of storytellers that have not been on here before. And George and Evie, just a sec, I'm letting someone in. And Waleed, if you can make Mike co-host as well, so he can let people in if you don't notice, that'd be marvelous. And but I'm trying to be 10 people simultaneously. I've got to go and do a performance myself in a minute. I'm sitting at Cambridge Folk Festival, and Eliza Carthy's on stage. I've got half of the Moroccan festival with me at the festival here, and but right now I'm going to hand over to David Heathfield, who will. And Eva's just joined us, David.
Fantastic.
And for safety's sake, if you make David co-host as well, so you can let people in, that would be brilliant. So, but right now, David Heathfield, could you take over the reins? And while I leave, and besides, it's going to get far too noisy here for me to broadcast. Have a wonderful evening. I shall be on catch up. See you then. Bye.
Thank you, John. And welcome everybody. Welcome all of you. Some of you who have been many times before, like dear Louis. Hi, Louis. And Tammy and Simona. And welcome to people who are new to the World Storytelling Cafe. Lillian and Tina and everybody who's joining. And there are people listening in. I can see Hanny's listening in. It's fantastic. And we have a special evening with stories told to us by people who are speakers of English, but also speakers of the Greek language. We've got Evie Karydi from Athens in Greece, Georgia Pieri from Cyprus. Let's go over to Evie. Let's give her a big warm World Storytelling Cafe welcome.
Hello, everyone. I feel so happy to be here and to share a story from my grandfather's village with you. My grandfather Yannis was born and raised in Corfu Island, and he used to tell us this story when I was young with my sister, and the story is called Zwoubos and the Dragon. Would you like to listen to the story? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
We do want to listen. Paramithi.
Mithi. Am I spotlighted, David?
That's not how it works at the World Storytelling Cafe.
We don't need
People
to do that.
can choose to put you onto speaker view.
Fantastic. Okay. So how do we start stories in Greece? We start with a phrase. I have to say mithi, and you have to say paramithi. Shall we try that? Mithi.
Paramithi.
Yes. So a long time ago, there was a very short man called Zwoubos. And to tell you a secret, Zwoubos actually means tiny in the local dialect of Corfu Island in Greece. So Zwoubos, his name means tiny. So Zwoubos was short and as poor as a church mouse. One day, he decided to leave in search of a job. So he put some bread and some balls of fresh cheese in his bag, and off he went. On the way, he thought, I have nothing to protect myself with, and this place is full of wild dogs. So he looked around, and he saw some stones. He bent down, and he grabbed a stone and put it in his bag. And there was another stone over there, and he grabbed another stone. And David, there was another stone near you. Can you give it to me? Can you give it to Swoobos, please? Thank you. And another stone right next to Georgia. Georgia? Yes, so he put all the stones in his bag. As he was walking, he suddenly saw a dragon. Swoobos knew that the king would give a prize to anyone who would bring him the dragon. Swoobos was so tiny and so powerless and so scared that he quickly climbed on a tree. But the dragon had seen him. Yes, dragon had seen him. Swoobos didn't want the dragon to understand that he was scared. So he thought for a while, and suddenly he had an idea. He took out a bowl of fresh cheese, and pretending it was a stone, he started squeezing it so hard until liquid started dripping down his wrist. The dragon saw that. He immediately took a stone from the ground and started squeezing it until it turned into dust. But there was no liquid. So the dragon thought, Swoobos is stronger than me. Come down, little man. What is your name? Let's be friends, called the dragon. Swoobos couldn't say no. Good idea, he said, but his heart was pounding. Gagan, gagan, gagan. Yes, his heart was pounding. And the dragon said, let's practice some more. Let's practice some more. Can you see that sheep over there in the distance, in the horizon? Said the dragon. Yes, I can see this sheep, said Swoobos. Well, what can you do with that sheep? Swoobos said. I have to think. By the time Swoobos thought the dragon had already taken a rock. He had taken a rock and he was about to throw the rock to Swoobos. But Swoobos said, no, dragon, I will grab this rock, huge rock, and throw it to the ship. And the ship will go down with the people in it. Poor dragon said, no, Swoobos, no, stop. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You're stronger than me. You beat me. Swoobos had it short. He thought that he would die. He would die of
Oh, I think we've just lost Evie. I'm sure she'll be back in a moment. Oh, but what's going to happen to Swoobos? Oh, well, I hope Evie will be back with us in a moment. What do you think is going to happen? Oh my God, do you think Swoobos is going to survive, Louis? I hope he can live on with this terrible danger. Georgia, could you get ready to tell your story just in case Evie doesn't get back in time? I'm full of anticipation. While we're waiting, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Evie Karydi and Georgia Pieri. Evie Karydi and Georgia Pieri are good friends of mine and good friends of my wife, Tammy, here in the room, because Evie and Georgia are wonderful teachers of English as a foreign language, and they're wonderful storytellers. So they're telling stories to children learning English in Greece and in Cyprus. And here they're sharing their wonderful stories with us. Evie, you're back.
Yes, and
there was that stone squeezed and dripped, but it wasn't really a stone. Evie, can you go back to the story?
Yes. So the dragon wanted to practice some more. Let's practice some more, Swoobos, said the dragon. Good idea, said Swoobos, but he really wanted to cry. The dragon brought 2 huge rocks in front of them. He picked one up and threw it so far, you thought it was a cannonball firing. So poor Swoobos couldn't even roll the rock. And he started thinking, and he saw the ship in the distance. And he said, can you see that ship in the horizon? I'm going to throw the rock and sink the boat, and all the people who are on it will go down with the boat. Wait, Swoobos, there's no need for that, said the dragon. Put the rock down. You beat me, he said. As you wish, dragon, as you wish, said Swoobos. The dragon thought for a while, and he said, let's go to the forest and see who can chop more wood. Good idea, said Swoobos, but inside him, he really trembled. The dragon took a huge axe and he started cutting down trees and chopping them so fast, chop, 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 that he made a huge pile that not even 1,000 men could carry together. Poor Swoobos didn't know what to do. He couldn't even lift the axe, so he had to think fast. Suddenly, he took some thread out of his pocket. He quickly climbed up the tree and started tying the thread around the treetops. So he tied the thread around the first treetop, and then he jumped onto the next tree, and he tied the thread on the next treetop, and then on the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. What are you doing, Swoobos? Asked the dragon. What I am doing? I will tell you what I'm doing. I can't play around with logs. I am taking the whole forest with me. That's what I'm doing, dragon, said Swoobos. He started pretending to pull the thread. Wait, Swoobos, wait. There is no need for that. We need the trees for the future. Let them be. You beat me, said the dragon. As you wish, dragon, as you wish, said Swoobos, and he climbed down the tree. The dragon thought for a while and he said, that little man cannot beat me. Let's wrestle and see who wins this time, he said. Good idea, said Swoobos, while he really wanted to die. But before poor Swoobos could even blink his eyes, the dragon had grabbed him so hard that Swoobos' eyes popped out, and Swoobos was gasping for air, and his eyes were getting red. Why are you giving me that angry look, Swoobos? Asked the dragon. Why? Because I am going to wipe you out, cried Swoobos with whatever strength he had left. Wait, Swoobos, there's no need for that. You win, said the dragon. And he let Swoobos down. Suddenly Swoobos could breathe. As you wish, dragon, as you wish, he said. But he knew deep inside him that his luck would not take him much further. So he said to the dragon, my friend, I have to go back home, and I will come back tomorrow so that we can continue. The dragon agreed. Deep inside him, he wished Swoobos wouldn't return. He really thought that Swoobos was stronger than him. Next day, Swoobos dressed up as a priest, and he went towards the forest to find the dragon. So as he was approaching, he started weeping. Oh, Zwubos, God rest your soul. Oh, mighty Zwubos, no coffin can match your greatness. God rest your soul. The dragon heard him. What are you saying, priest? He asked. Zwubos the Great died last night, and they sent me to the town to get a coffin for him, said the priest, who was not a priest. The dragon thought for a while, and he said, I will help you make a coffin to honor Zwubos, the strongest man I have ever met. You don't need to go to the town. So he cut down a tree and started carving it. And before long, guess what? He had made a beautiful coffin. Here's your coffin, priest, he said. The priest thought and said, I am not sure it's big enough for a great man like Zwubos, said the priest, who was not a priest. What? Look, priest, I can fit inside the coffin, said the dragon, and he immediately jumped inside the coffin. Well, I'm not sure it will close, said the priest, who was not a priest. Look, priest, I will put on the cover, said the dragon, and he did put the cover in one move of his hand, and he was inside the coffin with the cover on. Well, I'm not sure it will stay in place, said the priest, who was not a priest. Look, priest, use the nails from my toolbox, and you can seal the coffin, said the dragon from inside the coffin. And the priest, who was not a priest, took the nails, and you know what he did? Bang, 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 bang. He sealed the coffin with the dragon inside. I'm Zwubos, and I'm taking you to the king, he said. So Zwubos took the dragon to the king, and the king rewarded Zwubos with so many golden coins that Zwubos couldn't carry himself as he was so short and tiny. He tried to carry them, but as he was carrying them, coins were falling here. Coins were falling there. Coins were falling everywhere. But I didn't get any because I wasn't there.
Woohoo! Well, I'm so glad you got reconnected, Evie. Otherwise, we would
Sorry
be
about
worrying about Zwubos. But I don't know about you, Louis. Do you feel sorry for the dragon? I feel a little bit sorry for that dragon. I mean, he was so foolish. Like, I saw Lillian and Tina laughing a lot. I guess you're in Greece, right? Did you know that story? Yeah, they know that story. Fantastic.
No, they don't. It's
Oh,
from
they
Corfu.
don't?
It's a very local story from Corfu. It's
Local
not
story
well
from
known in Greece.
Corfu. Evie, how far is it from Athens to Cyprus? It looks very near because Georgia's right next to you.
It's 1.5 hours by plane.
Oh, really? That far?
Yes, it is.
Georgia Pieri is with us, and Georgia is from Cyprus. Welcome, Georgia Pieri. And welcome
Hello,
to everybody who's
everyone.
joining us. Hi, Evie. Hi, Georgia.
So happy to be with you. I'm going to tell you a medieval story from Cyprus. Story.
Tell us a story.
Tell us a story.
Once upon a time, back in the old times, there was a kingdom far, far away from here. Its residents were great warriors and horsemen wearing iron helmets with horns. In this place there was a beautiful queen, and her name was Melusine. People say from east to the west and from now north to south, you couldn't find a fine beauty, for the beauty was of the angels. This queen was cursed twice over. She was condemned to live half woman, half fish. She was cursed to give birth to the strangest creatures. Nobody has seen masters before. 11 children, all male. Every single birth was one more stab wound on Melusine's heart, but also on Raymond's heart, who was watching the future kings of the Franks to be born with horns and tails. They were planting their flanks onto the highest peaks of Mount Pentadactylos, and they were building castles as high in the sky, Saint Hilarion and Gandara. They were climbing up higher, higher, and higher, and they finally planted a cross on the summit of the mountain. Dionys turned his head to his fairy lady, but what a surprise! She had already embarked on a boat to escape from him. He went really mad. He looked around, spotted a stone twice as big as him. He grabbed, he lifted, and threw it with all his mighty strength straight to his lady's head. One day, the dragon longed for human blood and sent messages to the villagers, with a teacher and the mayor asking for 6 young men and a girl to eat them. When her mother heard the news, she was devastated. Ωρα καλή σου Λιέρη, ωρα καλή και γεια σου, μουσκούς και ρόδο στέφανα, στα καραμόφρια σου. Τσίντα γυρεύκεις Λιέρη, στου δράκου το πηγάδι, του δρακοντά του πονηρού, να φκεί και να σε φάει. Του δρακοντά του πονηρού, να φκεί και να σε φάει.
Oh, is that the end? It's so sad.
Yes, it is. It's a sad story
Oh,
about St. George.
thank you, Georgia, taking us into. I mean, it's a story. The story of is familiar to so many of us. Wow. Now, a bit later, something incredible is going to happen in this storytelling session. I mean, it's incredible already, isn't it, everybody? But something you won't believe is going to happen. But I'm going to keep it a secret. Right now, I'm going to hand back all the way, an hour and a half's flight, but instant on Zoom, to Athens, to Evie Karydi.
Okay. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I have a second story. And this time the story comes from Greece. And it's one of Aesop's fables. And the story is called The 4 Friends. Have you heard of the story, The 4 Friends, from Aesop? Okay. So the story is about 4 friends who lived in a forest. Can you give me some ideas about what type of friends were they? What friends were they?
Fox. Could it be a fox?
A fox, maybe. Yes. Any other ideas?
Rabbit?
A rabbit could be.
A bear?
A A bear, wow.
Um,
One more idea?
ooh, butterfly.
A butterfly, of course. Of course, you can find all these animals in a forest. But in this specific story, there were 4 friends, a deer, a crow, a mouse, and a turtle. And the 4 friends would meet every afternoon by Turtle's Pond. It was a peaceful pond, and they talked for hours and hours and hours. They talked about many different things. They talked about their dreams, their fears, their plans, their days, and they enjoyed each other's company so much. One day, Deer did not turn up at the usual time. And it was quite uncommon for Deer to be late. Mouse, Turtle, and Crow were worried, so they decided to look for Deer. Crow flew up into the air with 2 flaps of her wings, and she didn't have to fly too far to find Deer. But alas, Deer was there, down below, trapped in a hunter's net. And the more Deer tried to escape, the more tangled he got into the net. And time was ticking. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Soon the hunter would arrive, and that would be the end of poor Deer. Crow swiftly flapped away, and she wanted to share the terrible news with the other 2 friends, with Turtle and Mouse, and she wanted to get some help. So she did. She did go back, and she told them everything she saw. I have an idea, said Mouse. I will go with Crow and cut the net our friend is trapped in with my sharp teeth. And without waiting a minute longer, Crow picked up Mouse in her beak, and together they flew to the place where Deer was trapped. Thank God you're back! Deer was so relieved to see his friends. Immediately, Mouse started to chew the net. It was hard work, but soon Deer was set free. Looks like our friend is free. I couldn't stay at home knowing you are in danger, came a voice from the bushes. Can you imagine who it was? Was the voice coming from the bushes?
Was it the turtle?
Yes, David, it was the turtle. It was Turtle who had walked slowly all the way to the spot. At the same moment, the hunter arrived. Deer ran swiftly. Crow flew away. Mouse quickly dug a hole to hide in. But Turtle was slow. She was much too slow. The hunter was surprised to see that the net had been cut and that there was nothing inside. But then he noticed Turtle. Much better than nothing. I am sure this turtle will make a fine soup, he said to himself. So he took Turtle, put her in his sack, and headed back to the village. When the hunter disappeared into the woods, the 3 friends came out of their hiding places. Goodness, no! we've lost our friend. We must try to think of a way to save her life, cried Crow. No, there is still hope, said Mouse, smile as he whispered a plan to his two friends. What do you think the plan was? Can you imagine the plan that Mouse had in his head to save the turtle? Any ideas?
All I can think is it must need the deer, the mouse, and the crow's skills combined together. I can't
Very
think.
clever, David. As the hunter was walking down the path, he saw the body of a deer lying on the grass. The hunter could not believe his luck. He left the sack with Turtle on the ground and headed towards the deer in great anticipation. Mouse ran out of the bush and quickly chewed the string on the sack. And Turtle was free. Run, cried Mouse. And for a turtle, she moved really fast and she hid in a bush. Meanwhile, the hunter had almost reached deer. Flapping with her wings, the crow could see that Turtle was now safe, so she shouted, "No!" and flew away. So with Crow's signal, Deer jumped to his feet and ran away. The hunter ran after Deer. But after a while, tired of running, he gave up. And when he returned to take his sack, guess what? Found Turtle missing too. So the four friends hurried back to Turtle's pond. Deer, Crow, the mouse, and the turtle. Safe at last, said Turtle. As long as we help each other, we will always be safe, said Mouse with a smile on his face and some thread stuck between his long teeth.
Evie, I think if I understand right, it's a fantastic story. If I understand right, Aesop lived in the Greek world, the ancient Greek world.
Exactly.
So these stories, which feel like they belong to the whole world, originated not far from, well, some say he lived in the Greek world, but in North Africa, didn't he? But it was in that time of Greek Empire. But who knows exactly where Aesop lived all those thousands of years ago?
I think he was born in Africa of Greek origin. Yes, he was of Greek origin, born in Africa.
Right, brilliant.
And but he used a lot of animals in his fables, and people would accept stories with animals, but in fact, all his animals had human traits.
Brilliant.
Mm.
Louis, do you know any Aesop fables? I wonder if you know the next one that Georgia's going to tell us. Let's find out.
I'm going to tell you the story of the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, you're right, Louis. We know that one.
Great. Once upon a time, there was a boy who looked after some sheep up to the hill. The boy was bored. One day he decided to play a trick on the villagers. "Wolf! Wolf!" he shouted. "A wolf is chasing the sheep! Help! Help! Please help me!" The villagers came up the hill to save the sheep. When they got there was no wolf. The boy laughed at them. "Ha ha ha! There really isn't any wolf. I just wanted to fool you," he said. "You must not tell lies," said the villagers, and they went back to the village. The next day, the boy was bored again. And he thought, "I'm going to do the same." "Wolf! Wolf! A wolf is chasing the sheep! Help! Help! Please help me!" The villagers rushed up the hill again, leaving their jobs behind to save the sheep. They were really angry when they understood that the boy was telling lies again. Later that day, a wolf did come into the field. The boy shouted and shouted, "Wolf! Wolf! A wolf is chasing the sheep! Oh, help me! Help me! Please help me!" This time, no one came to help. The wolf ate all the sheep. The boy ran to the village crying, "There was a wolf and no one came," he said. "We didn't believe you," the villagers said. "No one believes a liar, even when he tells the truth."
Wonderful. Nobody believes a liar, even when they tell the truth.
So
I'm telling the truth to all of you who are listening to these fantastic stories, that Evie is from Athens and that Georgia is from Cyprus. But now there is a little surprise. I promise I haven't told you any lies. Let's see what happens. What's going on behind me? Ah! They're here!
Hello!
They're here! They're not in Cyprus. They're not in Greece. They're here with me and Tammy in Exeter, in England, where Evie and Georgia, we've been having a great time this week.
Yes,
Oh,
we have.
yes.
We've been doing lots and lots of storytelling and creativity together.
Yeah.
And to finish with, oh yeah, look, Louis, you can't believe it that they're with me in my house, can you, here in England? Isn't that amazing? Yeah, look at Louis. He's killing himself with laughter. Oh, wonderful. So, we together are going to tell you one more story. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Get ready, get ready. Oh, get ready. It's a wonderful story and you can all join in. Join in with your microphones switched off, but at one point I'll ask you to switch your microphones on. So get ready for that moment. Are you all ready? Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to step away. Oh, there is a farmer, and the farmer is not happy. Oh, the farmer is unhappy. Look how unhappy the farmer is. So the farmer leaves his farmhouse and goes to the wise old woman.
My house is too small. My house is too noisy. My wife is singing. La 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 la. My children are laughing. Ha 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 ha. Grandma and Grandpa are chatting. Cha 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 cha. My house is too small. My house is too noisy.
Hmm. 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 Have you got any chickens?
Yes, I have.
Bring the chickens in the house.
Bring the chickens in the house.
Yes, bring the chickens in the house.
Well, the farmer goes back to the farm and he brings the chickens in the house. Is the farmer happy? No. 1 week later, the farmer goes back to the wise old woman.
My house is too small. My house is too noisy. My wife is singing. La 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 la. The children are laughing. Ha 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 ha. Grandma and Grandpa are chatting. Cha 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 cha. The chickens are clucking. My house is too small. My house is too noisy.
Have you got any sheep?
Yes, I have.
Good. Bring the sheep in the house.
Bring the sheep in the house.
Yes, bring the sheep in the house.
Well, the farmer goes back to the farm and he brings the sheep into the house. Meh, 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 meh. Oh, do you think the farmer is happy now? No. 1 week later, and the farmer goes back to the wise old woman and keep muted, but you can join in with the words.
My house is too small. My house is too noisy. My wife is singing. La 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 la. The children are laughing. Ha 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 ha. Grandma and Grandpa are chatting. Cha 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 cha. The chickens are clucking. The sheep are bleeding. Bah, bah. My house is too small. My house is too noisy.
Have you got a cow?
Yes, I have.
Good. Bring the cow in the house.
Bring the cow in the house.
Yes, bring the cow in the house.
Well, the farmer goes back to the farmhouse and he brings the cow in the house. Oh, oh, can you imagine how noisy the house is? Please, can everybody switch on your microphones? And can we make all of the noises? Can we hear the wife singing, la 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 la, and the children laughing, Grandpa and Grandpa chatting, the chickens clucking, the sheep, the cow mooing. Please make all of the noises at once and switch on your microphones. La 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 la. Oh no! The farmer goes back to the wise old woman.
My house is too small. My house is too noisy. My wife is singing. La 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 la. The children are laughing. Ha 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 ha. Grandma and Grandpa are chatting, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. The chickens are clucking. The sheep are bleeding. Bah, bah. The cow is mooing. Moo, moo. My house is too small. My house is too noisy.
Take the animals out of the house.
Take the animals out of the house.
Yes, take all the animals out of the house.
Take all of the animals out of the house.
Take the cow out of the house.
Take the cows out of the house.
Take the sheep out of the house.
Take the sheep out of the house.
Take the chickens out of the house.
Take the chickens out of the house.
Yes, take all the animals out of the house.
Take all of the animals out of the house.
The farmer goes back to the farm and he takes the cow out of the house.
Moo.
The farmer takes the sheep out of the house. Meh, meh, meh. The farmer takes the chickens out of the house. The farmer goes back in the house. His wife is singing. The children are laughing. Grandpa and Grandma are chatting. Chat, 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 chat.
My house is big. My house is quiet. I am happy.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
And a big round of applause to Georgia Pieri,
The farmer,
Eddie Karydi,
the wise old woman, and the narrator David Heathfield.
So all the way from Greece, from Cyprus, here in England, we share stories with you. Stories for children, stories for everyone. Please let other people know. Share the link. The recording is here for you all to enjoy. So thank you so much for joining us at the World Storytelling
Thank you for
Cafe.
watching us.
And please come back again. I have a couple of notices before we all say goodbye. Louis, did you enjoy that? Did you have some fun there?
Yes, I have, yeah.
What a clever old woman, eh? And what a foolish farmer. But he learned the lesson because the farm was exactly the same before and after. It just seemed really different. Well, a quick notice. At the World Storytelling Cafe, next Tuesday, as every Tuesday, at 5 o'clock UK time, we have young international storytellers. So come back that time, 5 p.m. UK time on Tuesday, every Tuesday. Bring your students, come and listen. Everybody is welcome. You don't have to be too young to come and join us. All storytellers aged under 25 are most welcome to tell stories. And our regulars who are there, Kenza and Jasna May, will be joined by others, no doubt. And we're all very excited because this coming Tuesday, Kenza has told us that we are going to meet her grandmother in Casablanca, in Marrakesh. Her grandmother, who has been sharing stories about Joha with Kenza, and Kenza's been translating them into English and Italian and sharing them here in English. We're going to get to meet Kenza's grandmother in Casablanca on Tuesday, so it's one not to be missed. But until then, from all of us, and thank you so much to Walid in Marrakesh for hosting. Thank you, Walid. Wonderful job. Oh, and I should say one more thing that's equally as exciting, because this time next week, Friday the 4th. Is that right, Amna? Friday the 4th of August. Our special guest here at the World Storytelling Cafe is Amna Berkey, who's here with us in the room. Hi, Amna. And Amna's going to be telling us some fantastic stories. And if Amna lets me, I might tell one with her as well. But I think Amna's going to be taking the lion's share of the storytelling next Friday. So we're really looking forward to that, Amna. What do you want to give us a little hint about something we can look forward to next Friday?
Let's keep it a surprise. And
all
we
right,
can
let's
take
keep it
turns,
as a
David.
surprise. Wonderful. All right, we'll see you all next Friday and on Tuesday before that. And bye for now, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
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 Bye, Louis.
Bye, Louis.
Bye.
Bye, Simona. Oh, it looks so nice where you are, Simona, outdoors. I think you're in the north of Spain, aren't you?
Yes, I'll try to show you if I can. Oh yeah, here we are.
Oh, is it Asturias?
I'm in Asturias
Oh,
at the
it's so
moment. Yes,
beautiful.
and this is the view
Wow.
from the table where I'm sitting at.
Oh, how fantastic. Is that where you're staying?
Yes. So
Wow.
this is Francesco. So
Hi,
and that's the little
Francesco.
apartment.
Hi,
They say hello.
Francesco. Great to see you. Wonderful. And Lillian, it's good to see you. It looks like you're also somewhere beautiful outside. Is that right?
I'm in Crete.
In Crete.
Yes, Rethymno.
Oh,
Not so beautiful, but okay. The balcony of my house.
oh, it does look very
Nice
beautiful.
to see you all. Evie, Georgia, hello.
Hi, Lilian. And we've got
David,
another island.
Yes.
Tina is from another island. She's from Samos in Greece.
Yes,
Samos.
Yes.
Samos, yes. But right now I'm in my classroom, you see, as you can see at the
Oh.
back. Unfortunately, next week I hope I am just like Lillian outside. It was really amazing. It was my first time, and I believe I will never miss them from now on. Wonderful.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you, Tina. That's wonderful to hear. That's wonderful to hear. All right. Well, until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.